She walked into a luxury bridal salon with dreams, but was humiliated and kicked out just for being a black woman. Years later, she returned, but this time, not just as a bride, as a fiancée of a millionaire. Watch how one woman turned pain into power and came back stronger than anyone ever imagined. Talia stood in front of the gleaming glass doors of La Belle Bridal, the most exclusive bridal salon in the city. Her heart raced with excitement. She'd been dreaming of this moment for weeks, ever since her fiancé, Marcus, proposed. She'd saved up for months, skipping lunches and taking extra shifts at the hospital where she worked as a nurse, just to afford a dress from this place. La Belle was known for its designer gowns, the kind worn by celebrities and the ultra-wealthy. Talia wasn't rich, but she wanted to feel like a queen on her wedding day. She smoothed her simple sundress, took a deep breath, and pushed open the door. The air inside was cool, scented with lavender, and the soft chime of a bell announced her arrival. The salon was a vision of elegance. Crystal chandeliers, plush white carpets, and racks of shimmering gowns that seemed to glow under the lights. Talia's eyes widened as she took it all in. This was her moment. A woman in a sleek black blazer approached her. Her name tag read Vivian, manager. Her smile was tight, and her eyes scanned Talia from head to toe, lingering on her worn sneakers and the small purse slung over her shoulder. "Welcome to La Belle Bridal," Vivian said. Her tone clipped. "Do you have an appointment?" Talia nodded, pulling out her phone to show the confirmation email. "Yes, I booked it last week. My name's Talia Johnson." Vivian glanced at the phone, then back at Talia. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. "I see. Well, let's get you started. Follow me." Talia followed Vivian to a small seating area with a velvet couch. Another employee, a younger woman named Claire, joined them, carrying a tablet. Claire seemed friendlier, offering Talia a glass of champagne, which she politely declined. "So, what kind of dress are you looking for?" Claire asked, tapping on her tablet. Talia's face lit up. Something elegant but not too over the top. Maybe lace sleeves, a long train. I love classic styles, like what Meghan Markle wore. My budget is around $5,000. Vivian raised an eyebrow, her lips pursing. $5,000? Our gowns start at $10,000. The designers we carry, Vera Wang, Monique Lewillier, Elie Saab, they don't come cheap. Talia's stomach tightened, but she kept her composure. "I understand, but I was told over the phone that you have some options in my price range. I'm happy to look at those." Vivian exchanged a glance with Claire, who shifted uncomfortably. "We do have a clearance rack," Vivian said, her tone dripping with condescension. "But those are mostly last season's designs. I'm not sure they'd suit someone like you." Talia frowned, unsure what Vivian meant. "Someone like me?" Vivian waved a hand dismissively. "You know, someone with your style. La Belle caters to a very specific clientele. Our brides are usually looking for something more refined." Talia's cheeks burned. She wasn't stupid. She knew what Vivian was implying. Her sundress and sneakers didn't scream wealth, and her brown skin didn't match the pale mannequins in the salon's displays. But she wasn't here to be judged. She was here to buy a dress. "I'd still like to see the clearance rack," Talia said firmly, her voice steady despite the anger bubbling inside her. "And anything else in my budget." Vivian sighed, as if Talia's request was a personal inconvenience. "Fine. Claire, show her the back room, but don't waste too much time." Claire led Talia to a small, dimly lit room at the back of the salon. The clearance rack was a stark contrast to the main floor, crowded with dresses and plastic covers, some with visible stains or loose threads. Talia's heart sank, but she refused to let it show. She started flipping through the gowns, determined to find something beautiful. As she pulled out a simple ivory dress with delicate beadwork, Vivian appeared in the doorway, arms crossed. "You know, this isn't a thrift store," she said, her voice sharp. "Our gowns are meant for brides who appreciate luxury. Maybe you'd be better off at a department store." Talia froze, her hand gripping the hanger. "Excuse me," she said, turning to face Vivian. "I'm a paying customer. I have an appointment, and I have the money to buy a dress. Why are you treating me like I don't belong here?" Vivian's eyes narrowed. Let's not make a scene. I'm just being honest. La Belle has a reputation to uphold, and we can't just anyone walking in here, trying on dresses they can't afford. Talia's blood boiled. You don't know what I can afford. You haven't even given me a chance to look properly. You're judging me because of how I'm dressed, and let's be real, because of the color of my skin. Vivian's face flushed red. How dare you accuse me of that? I've been nothing but professional. If you're going to be difficult, I'll have to ask you to leave. Difficult? Talia snapped, stepping closer. I came here to buy a wedding dress, not to be insulted. You're the one making this difficult. Claire, who had been silent, stepped between them. Okay, let's all calm down. Talia, maybe we can find something you like. No, Vivian interrupted, her voice cold. She's done here. I won't have her disrupting our salon. Get your things and go. Talia's hands shook with rage, but she held her head high. You're making a mistake, she said, her voice low and steady. I'll remember this, and you'll regret it. Vivian smirked. I doubt that. Goodbye, Miss Johnson. Talia grabbed her purse and stormed out, the bell chiming mockingly as she left. Tears stung her eyes, but she refused to let them fall. She stood on the sidewalk, breathing heavily, replaying the humiliation in her mind. She wasn't just angry, she was determined. She'd show them. Somehow, she'd make them eat their words. 2 years later, Talia's life was unrecognizable. She wasn't just a nurse anymore. She was a fiancée of Ethan Caldwell, a tech millionaire who'd made his fortune in artificial intelligence. They'd met at a charity gala where Talia had been volunteering, and their connection was instant. Ethan was kind, driven, and completely smitten with her. He didn't care about her modest background or the fact that she'd grown up in a small apartment with a single mom. To him, Talia was everything. Their engagement had made headlines, not just because of Ethan's wealth, but because of Talia's story. She'd become an advocate for healthcare workers, using her platform to raise millions for underfunded hospitals. Her face was on magazine covers, her name synonymous with grace and resilience. But Talia hadn't forgotten La Belle Bridal. The sting of that day still lingered, and now, with her wedding to Ethan approaching, she had a plan. Talia walked into La Belle Bridal for the second time, but this time she wasn't alone. Ethan was by her side, dressed in a tailored suit, his presence commanding attention. Behind them were 2 assistants, a photographer and a journalist from Vogue, who was covering Talia's wedding preparations. Talia wore a chic cream pantsuit, her hair styled in sleek braids, and a diamond engagement ring sparkled on her finger. She looked like she belonged, and she knew it. The salon was as stunning as ever, but the atmosphere shifted the moment Talia stepped inside. Vivian was there, standing behind the counter, and her face paled when she recognized Talia. For a moment, no one spoke. Then Vivian plastered on a fake smile and approached. Welcome to La Belle Bridal, she said, her voice trembling slightly. Do you have an appointment? Talia smiled, but it was sharp like a blade. I do. Talia Johnson. Or, I suppose you'll know me better as Talia Caldwell, soon to be Mrs. Ethan Caldwell. Vivian's eyes widened, and she glanced at Ethan, who stood protectively beside Talia. The journalist was already taking notes, and the photographer snapped a few candid shots. Vivian swallowed hard. Of course, Ms. Johnson, Caldwell. We're honored to have you. Please come this way. Talia didn't move. Oh, I don't know Vivian, she said, her tone icy. Last time I was here, you told me I didn't belong. You said La Belle was for a specific clientele. Remember that? Vivian's face turned crimson. I don't recall. Don't lie. Talia cut her off, her voice rising. You kicked me out because you thought I couldn't afford your dresses. You humiliated me in front of your staff. You made it clear that a black woman like me wasn't welcome in your fancy salon. The room was silent, except for the soft click of the photographer's camera. Claire, who was standing nearby, looked mortified, her eyes darting between Talia and Vivian. Ethan stepped forward, his voice calm but firm. Is this true? He asked Vivian. Did you treat my fiancé like that? Vivian stammered. It was a misunderstanding, Mr. Caldwell. I would never. Stop, Talia said, holding up a hand. I don't want your excuses. I came here today because I wanted you to see me. Not the woman you kicked out 2 years ago, but the woman I am now. I'm marrying a man who loves me. I'm changing lives, and I could buy this entire salon if I wanted to. But you're still the same small-minded person who judged me without knowing me. Vivian's lips trembled, but she didn't respond. The journalist was scribbling furiously, and Talia knew this moment would be all over the news by tomorrow. She turned to Ethan, her voice softening. Let's go. I don't need a dress from here. I'll find something better. Ethan nodded, taking her hand. Whatever you want, babe. As they turned to leave, Claire stepped forward, her voice shaky. Ms. Johnson, I'm so sorry about what happened. I should have said something back then. You didn't deserve that. Talia looked at Claire, her expression softening slightly. Thank you, Claire. I appreciate that. Vivian, desperate to save face, called after them. Ms. Caldwell, please, let's make this right. We'd be honored to design a custom gown for you, free of charge. Talia stopped at the door, turned to face Vivian one last time. You think I'd wear anything from this place after what you did? Keep your dresses, Vivian. I don't need them to feel like a queen. With that, Talia walked out, her head held high, Ethan by her side. The bell chimed as the door closed behind them, and the journalist was already typing up the story that would make headlines. Millionaire's bride shuts down luxury bridal salon after past discrimination. Talia didn't need La Belle's approval anymore. She was writing her own story, and it was one of triumph.